It's time now for a look at latest in local news. In the news, the Wayne County Board of Education met Tuesday for the regularly monthly board meeting, and one of the largest crowds ever to attend a school board meeting was on hand to ask questions, some voicing frustration. 9 citizens signed up for public participation, and they were limited to just 3.5 minutes. Here was Chairman of the Board of Education, Joe McPipkin, stating that no decision was going to be made last night on capital improvement projects, that they're just in the beginning phases.
I'm going to read some guidelines. However, before I do, I'd like to make a statement regarding the ag facility and ROTC. I apologize for not doing a better job of conveying to the public where we are on this ag and ROTC facility. We're only in the beginning stages. I shared with a media source that kind of like my wife, she wants a large house, she wants a big fancy car. We go shopping, and then we have to say, can we afford it? And if we can't, then we have to start looking at what we can do to make cuts. Folks, that's where we are now. We're just in the beginning stage of really, we got a cost. We had a work session Friday in which we met on the table back there, looked at blueprints with architects. I will share this. We've asked him to go back and look at some changes possibly. So we're still in the beginning stage. One media source reported that we were going to make a final decision tonight. I can assure you we're not at that point yet. So with all that said.
And again, the chairman blaming this report for the large crowd last night and stating the board and superintendent are just in the beginning phase of these two capital improvement projects, the ag facility and the ROTC building, which I'll take exception to. The projects have been discussed all the way back when the voters passed East Bloss last year. Since then, the two projects have been discussed, and at last Friday's called board meeting, the board requested to meet with their only architect that they're discussing it with to come and tell what the project looked like and how much the project was going to cost. The answer was a 36,000 square foot building at a cost of $12.1 million, to which board member Todd Wise questioned and stated that he simply could not support it. If it wasn't going to be decided on, why was there concern to support it? Because they were ready to move forward with the project, but since the outrage, they changed course. So sorry, I'll stick to the report. The decision was about to be made and a vote was imminent on the $12.1 million project. Glad they hopefully have reconsidered because, as Wise stated last Friday at the called board meeting, quote, I can't support a $12 million project. And since it was proposed Friday at the called meeting, the story spread, and that's why they had such a large crowd last night. Again, 9 people signed up to speak in public participation. Here's a portion of what was said. We begin with Renee Sykes, who addressed the board and had these comments.
My husband and I both are 100% new building projects here in Wayne County, just not at the cost of $18 million. Once we spend the money on ag, ROTC, and James Bacon, nothing will be left for maintenance, repairs, etc. that the system needs as a whole, not to mention buses and the rat infestation. Are there other quotes on this project? If we want to repair them at our house or build anything, we at least have 3 people come and give us quotes. Has that been done on this? We do our research on the person that we choose to do the work at our house. Has that been done on this? A board member made the comment about Ware County spending $41 million on a new school, and they think we made out pretty well on spending $24 million on James E. Bacon. That's absurd. They built a brand new school, and we have spent over half of that amount on a remodel, not to mention the $3 million that has been requested by the board on this East Bloss for James E. Bacon that the board promised they wouldn't do. How many quotes were given on that project? Can you tell us how much Ware got on their East Bloss? I can. $40.5 million. It was stated at the last meeting that it was transparent. However, that was the first meeting I've ever attended. At the beginning of the meeting, we were told that it was a work session meeting and there would be no public participation. How transparent is a meeting in the corner that the public is not verbally invited over to join? Was it transparent to move away from the public, the microphones and the monitors for the second half of the meeting? There was abundant floor space right here where the blueprints could have been. Was this in fact a violation of the Meeting Act for governments in Georgia? To add insult to the injury, as soon as the public was dismissed, our board member said in a phone conversation that $1.5 million was shaved off of the project, speaking in the corner. Speaking of being transparent, where's the CARES Act money? Can anyone tell Wayne County where $21.7 million is? Or how it's been spent? A member made the comment in Friday's meeting that has echoed in my head. We've given enough to athletics. What have you given to athletics? If it were not,
1 minute.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
If it were not for boosters, our athletics would have nothing. With the exception of the light poles at JC Stadium, boosters and parents have to pay for everything. I'll leave you with this thought. I sure do hope that CARES Act money can be found if the bleachers at JC Stadium fall at the next home game or graduation. Or you've made a good decision on insurance.
And once again, those comments are Renee Sykes. Her husband, Dallas Sykes, also spoke. He wanted to make certain there's no division between the agricultural crowd and the athletic crowd. He says that we're all Wayne County and we're all winning together.
I think we have done enough for athletics. Still rings in my head. There is nothing in that statement that says let's figure it out together. We're Wayne County, we got this. Here's the truth. The athletic parents support the ag parents. We feel your pain. The agricultural class of Wayne County has waited long enough. They deserve it, and so does the ROTC. I believe the ag community supports the athletic parents too. The fact is all extracurricular programs are primarily funded by fundraisers and parents. We're all on the same boat. Now, number 3, our school taxes are too high. The literacy numbers are declining, and the school system is terrible with money. The last 3 capital projects have exploded with overages that has to be robbed from other school programs. In my humble opinion, we have experienced leaders in the community with more experience than the board and superintendent with these matters. So let them assist you and help, as was intended by the East Block Committee before it was disbanded 10 months before the election. We're here.
45 seconds, sir. I'm sorry.
We're here because there is obviously no clear plan on how you're going to spend the SPLOST except to wait and see what's left. And all that do donate to any and all extracurricular activities, you're very appreciated, and we thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Once again, those comments of Dallas Sykes. Once again, that's just a portion of what was said last night under public participation. We'll play more tomorrow here on the local news. We gladly invite anyone from the Board of Education to come discuss the issue on the Butch and Bob Show or the superintendent. But keep in mind, I contacted the superintendent after the all-out brawl at the Benny Ratliff Arena a week ago Tuesday, and here's the text I sent him Tuesday night that has yet to be responded to. It reads as follows. It says, "Good evening. I understand that you were not at the basketball game, but I'm wondering if anyone from the school has any official comment on what transpired. What are the repercussions? Any arrests? Is there a possible arrest forthcoming? $64,000 question is, was there any security at the basketball game? Word is that there were no officers in the facility. I have a hard time believing that. I thought that was required." That again sent to Dr. Kelly the Tuesday night the incident occurred, but still he's not responded to that text message. From there, we asked for a comment from the athletic director and the high school principal. We're told by both that they can't comment until they talk with the superintendent. It took 3 days for a comment from high school principal Dr. McDaniel on an all-out court brawl that disqualified both teams from a state tournament that received nationwide publicity. A story on the front page of the AJC, Yahoo Sports, Sports Illustrated, USA Today, and on, but again, no comment from our school system until 3 days after the fact. Spalding County commented the day after it took place, as did the George High School Association, but again, no comment from our school system for 3 days, and still the superintendent has not responded to my request for a statement. Again, Dr. Kelly's always welcome to come on the Butch and Bob Show. He's appeared several times, but let's keep the facts straight. The called meeting this past Friday was to have the loan architect present the final plans for the ag facility and lay out the cost. Thankfully, a board member balked and said that just doesn't seem right. That's why the large crowds, that's why the questions, that's why they're now calling it the beginning phases. Please, board members were heard on Friday saying they were ready to move forward. That's a fact. Again, I'll stick to my report. If not for the big crowd and all the questions, this board and superintendent were ready to move forward and start the ball rolling on a $36,000 square foot agriculture building that was estimated to cost $12.1 million of the East Lost money. And with that and the overcost of James E. Bacon and the ROTC facility, the realization is set in that all those meetings with all those interested in athletics and a possible weight room and possible renovation or even a possible new stadium is a pipe dream for a future date. The money is simply not there. A good football coach got the memo several weeks ago. He's on his way to South Carolina. As always, personnel part of the agenda. Here's the personnel approved last night. Certified transfers: Ashley Dent from Arthur Williams Middle School to James E. Bacon, Ursula Lightsey from Scrivener Elementary to Jesup Elementary, Rebecca Scott from Odom Elementary to Wayne County High School, Mary Wingate from Wayne County High School ELA to instructional coach. Certified resignations: Taylor Child, Martha Ross Smith Elementary, Joe Collins, Scrivener Elementary retiring, Tammy DeLoach, Martha Ross Smith Elementary retiring, Amy Fender, Odom Elementary retiring, Mallory Jones, Jesup Elementary, Isabel Petchler, Arthur Williams Middle School, Coach Shaw, Wayne County High School, Latifah Williams, Arthur Williams Middle School, Mark Williams, Martha Puckett Middle School. Classified recommendation: Emory Hill Transportation, Eugenia Hill Transportation, Gwen Michael, Central Office Benefits Coordinator. And one classified resignation: Tammy Madry, Central Office, a floater nurse. Again, all that personnel approved last night at the board meeting. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor, other commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Other news: early voting taking place all this week and Saturday as well, all next week at the Cracker Williams Rec Center at 245 East Bay Street, as registered voters are casting their ballots for both the Georgia presidential primary and here in Wayne County on the proposed County SPLOST 5 referendum. Voting Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. This Saturday, the second Saturday, early voting from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Tuesday, another 120 registered voters voted, one nonpartisan, 17 Democrats, and 120 Republicans, bringing the grand total after 8 days to 639 votes. Once again, early voting today from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Once again, the location, 245 East Bay Street, the Cracker Williams Rec Center. City of Jesup Public Works Department will be closing Cherry Street at the intersection of Palm Street and North Mahogany Lane for road repairs this Thursday, February 29th, and they state that part of the road will be closed all day long tomorrow. Repairs are expected to be completed tomorrow. The road will be reopened on Friday morning. So again, keep that in mind. That's tomorrow, once again, closing Cherry Street at the intersection of Palm Street and North Mahogany Lane for road repairs all day long. And the road reopens on Friday. Tomorrow, the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce hosting a drop-in and meet and greet for Wayne County's newest 40 under recipients. That takes place tomorrow between 5 and 6 at El Dorado Mexican and Japanese Cuisine Restaurant at 146 South Macon Street. Everyone's invited. Again, that's set for tomorrow afternoon from 5 to 6 at El Dorado's Restaurant. County Commissioners' agenda is out for March the 4th. The meeting gets underway at 6 p.m. at the County Commissioners' meeting room. Public hearing for a beer and wine license for Common Man Grub and Pub. Under new business, consider approved beer and wine license for that location. Consider approved bid for new ambulance for the ambulance department. Consider approved chronic condition program. Consider approved the VOCA grant for district attorney's office. Consider approved closing Lake Grace for boat races April 4th through the 7th. Consider approved bids for motor grader for the road department. Consider approved minimum bid on surplus property. And consider an approved ordinance to amend the Enabling Act. Items with the administrator, items with the county clerk, county commissioners, executive session, none. Again, all that's set for Monday, 6 p.m. at the county commissioners meeting room. We'll be back with the final news note after this word from our sponsor of the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final note in the news: this is an election year in Wayne County, and races for the office of Sheriff of Wayne County, Clerk of Court, Probate Judge, Tax Commissioner, and on, set to qualify this coming Monday, March 4th, and that qualifying period runs up until March the 8th. 3 positions on both the school board and county commission seats are up for election, districts 1, 3, and 5. On the school board, those positions currently held by Joe McPipkin, Todd Wise, and Tina Mosley. For the county commission board, these seats currently held by Mike Gordon, Jamie Hickox, and Tim Hopkins. And all those seats up for re-election. Once again, the qualifying begins Monday. We'll keep you posted here on the local news on who all qualifies. Sheriff Chuck Mosley has announced he's already a candidate seeking re-election for another term for sheriff. All the qualifying taking place at the probate office in Wayne County. Once again, it all gets underway Monday morning and runs up until March the 8th. The election's set for November. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan saying have a great day.